Hey there, everyone. We're here for round two. Um, we on the draw. We kept a little sketchier hand, I guess you could say. Not the most powerful. Five lands of Ramsville and Scapeshift, and ended up our opponents playing Merfolk, which could be problematic. But they're on the play and they mulligan, so hopefully they don't have too explosive of a start. I'm gonna lead with Foothills for Forest, and then just play Searcher tomorrow. I want to do it that way because I take the least amount of damage. Don't have to take two by playing this untapped. Most likely we're going to be playing these tapped. Against Merfolk, they're a very aggressive deck. We're going to want to take as little damage as possible. But drawing that Harvest Pyre was a good top deck. It's going to let us deal with, the first threat or Lord or whatever they play. Hopefully we don't draw too many more lands. But I think the hand's fine to keep, like, in the dark. Sometimes you're gonna get out aggroed by a mono red deck. That'd be a rough hand to keep, or Affinity. But if you're playing against a Jund deck or a Grixis deck or some twin variant, they most likely won't be able to punish you for that kind of hand. And like if we draw like a Desolate Lighthouse or Izzet Charm or Compulsive Research, then we can filter away if we draw too many lands. So I think it's okay. I think it's like one of the worst hands that we can keep, and I don't fault anyone for deciding to mulligan that hand. But we'll see how it turns out. Our opponent's tanking on their upkeep. Guess they don't know what to do. They don't know, do they want to put a counter in the vial or not? Maybe they have some zero drops they want to play. I don't know. Maybe our opponents need to double queue or something, or doing something in real life. But the Merfolk matchup in general is not too bad because our list nowadays has Hanger the God's Mane, and I try to equip it with a lot of creature removal because I felt like this format recently has been filled with more Merfolk, more Burn, more Affinity, those kind of variants. There's a Curse Catcher. So are they stuck on one land? Is that their hand? We're definitely happy about them being stuck on one land if that is the case. And Curse Catcher's not the best against our hand. We just have a ton of land. We don't have any early spells we really need to resolve. So, ooh, Tri-Builder. I think I'm actually going to play one. I'm just going to get Island once again. I don't want to take two here. I'm going to have to take one off these fetch lands like almost all the time. Are they vialing in another Curse Catcher? we got the double Curse Catcher draw. Okay. I'm actually not too upset about that because double Curse Catcher means not anything else. They could put a Lord in here and put some pressure on us. No, a Silvergill Adept. Okay, so they don't even have a Lord. So really they're only attacking here for 1 damage. Okay. So I'm going to sack that. I think I get an island still. If we top deck like an Anger the Gods, we can still go like... Well, here, I'll get an island. Off of our Search for Tomorrow, we'll get a mountain. And then if we top deck an Anger, we can play our Stomping Grounds untapped in Anger. I guess Anger would only deal 2 Curse Catchers because they would sack both. Do I even need to get a mountain here? Because like if we top deck an Anger the Gods, are we playing it this turn? I think the answer might actually be no. In which case we'd rather just get more blue sources and just play this like tapped. But then again, no, I don't think that's true. Actually, I lied. I think that if they do next turn violin a Lord, I want to be able to Harvest Power that Lord right away. So I might as well get a mountain here and play this tapped instead of like getting an island and then playing this untapped, which is very suspect. And I'm not going to play. Don't want to play Tri-Builder actually. We have 5, 6, 7. 7 lands doesn't kill them though, so playing Tri-Builder won't let us kill them next turn. I think I just want to leave a Harvest Fire. If I place Tri-Builder, then they can counter my Harvest Power with their Curse Catchers. So they're going to play Harbinger of the Tides, and they're going to pump it. So that means they have a 3-drop, which is probably Marrow Reejerey, which is one of their lords. So if I kill the Harvest Pyre over 2 turns, that saves us 4 damage. If I hold this Harvest Pyre for the Marrow Reejerey next turn, that also saves us 4 damage. I think I want to use my mana more efficiently though, so might as well do that. Yeah, I think we just do it for 1. I don't think they have any pump effects. They can't play a Lord here, so... Okay, I think we're in a fine spot. Don't really think we can lose next turn. Even if they went, like, play a Lord, land, play another Lord, it's still not lethal damage. And then next turn, Scapeshift should be lethal, and hopefully they don't have a counter, though. If they play a map island, which they do, I mean, we're still going to run out the Scapeshift next turn, but it makes it a bit more problematic. We could run into, like, Unified Will. They're going to dismember that. I think Unified Will is the only counter we're really afraid of, but now that they tapped 1, that's not even an option, so... I guess in that regard, we're fine now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, we have 7 lands, so 8 lands next turn. Went up to 4. Maybe they have Master the Waves then? I mean, we're just going to run it out. I don't really see a reason not to. We're not really afraid of anything at this point. I mean, they could have a Swan Song, I suppose, but not too many merfolks play those main deck. Okay, there we go. And they concede. So that game turned out well. Like, our hand was a little sketchy, but they also kept a sketchy hand, and, you know, it worked out for us. And that's how Magic works sometimes. So I'm going to bring in all our spot removal. Going to bring in Roast, going to bring in Combust. Going to bring in Engineered. And we're going to side out Remands. Remands are very bad against Aether Vial decks. And the fact that, like, most of their curve is very low. I like having Dispels, though, to counter their counter spells, in case we get into counter wars over our Scapeshift, or maybe if I go for an Anger the Gods and they try and counter it. Things like that. I'm not a huge fan of Farseek, because it makes us tap out on our turn. Compulsive's not the best either. Probably get rid of Compulsive Research. It's a little clunky. It's not very good if they have, like, Curse Catchers in play. I was trying to bring in Jace. It's not too bad at, like, minusing the team, but I don't really know what I would cut for it. I think this is fine. Yeah, let's just go with this. But we have a ton of removal post-board, which is exactly what I want against this deck. Don't think we can keep this. Can we? We're on the draw, so we have 2 draw steps to find more lands. We do have turn 1 search for tomorrow. I really want to keep this, but this is definitely a hand that we can get punished from the Merfolk player with an aggressive draw. 24 lands left in our deck. I think we can afford to mulligan. I don't think we need to keep a sketchy hand like this. I really want to, though. Because, like, we can go with Scalding Tarn. What are we Scalding Tarn into? Are we gonna... Because we need green source for this. And then are we getting a blue source? Are we getting a red source? I think we have to mulligan this. We'll keep this hand, but it's also awkward that we have no green sources. This hand we need to draw a green source, but if we do, we're actually in a really good spot, I think. Engineered Explosive is nice. Okay, no turn 1 drop's really good. No Vial, no Curse Catcher. I like it. And a Mutavault. So we're going to see Silvergill Adept? No, Spreading Seas. Sure. Okay, let's play Valakut then. I'm trying to Spreading Seas us out of the game. Usually it's not too good against Scapeshift. Okay, so they finally play a Reejerey, but it's a little slow, their hand. Do I want to play this Engineer for 2? I think the answer is yes. I just want to play it for 2. Because once we hit our forest, we're going to want to start ramping right away. And I feel like if we put it for 2, it can slow them down. Oh, they just have a Master? Sure. Okay. Not this Master is too insane. It makes 2 1/1s. I think there's a good chance that we just throw this Snapcaster out to try and block the Master of the Waves. So we're taking 6, 8, 12 still. I suppose that's still an issue, but... It's an awkward draw we've had here. I mean, we knew the risk when we kept a hand without any force, but on a multi-6 we had to keep that. Turns out that our first hand, the 7-card hand, might have been okay because they had a slower start, but you never know. Maybe we still don't draw lands. Oh my god. Well then. This is not going to turn out too well either. So if they just activate both Mutavault, we're dead. And it looks like that's what's happening here. Oh well. I mean, some games we're not going to get there. Both hands, like this, both the 7-card and the 6-card hands, are speculative, but I don't think we can keep. I think the 7-card hands, like, just a little too risky for my part. Had some very close hands these first 2 rounds. Actually, no, this round specifically. Our game 1 hand was really close to mulliganing, and our game 2 hand was really close to keeping. I think we just keep it as is. I think it was fine. You know, our strat board strategy's fine. We just need to be able to cast our spells. Like, if we drew 1 green source that game, I'm pretty sure we win, but such is magic. We're gonna keep this hand. It's fine. I mean, 5 lands. I prefer to have like 4 lands and a ramp spell, but we have Lightning Bolt to deal with their first like real pressure. Peer Through Depths can find whatever. If it finds an Anger or something, it's really nice. Search for Tomorrow is not a bad one. Once again, them not having 1-drop is pretty good. The most powerful draws from the Merfolk deck is when they go turn 1 Aether Vial. Okay, Master the Waves, or Master the Pearl Trident, okay. So we're going to draw a card. Don't think we're going to bolt that, because we know they have a Lord that's going to come down the next turn. And I think we'll just pass. They're just passing the turn with 3 mana up. Let's Peer Through Depths end a turn. I'll take Scapeshift then. It's really interesting. Are they leaving up Counterspell? Is that what this is? Negate? Are they gonna counter like the ramps? No, they're not countering the ramp. This is really peculiar. They had a Lord they didn't want to play. Maybe they didn't want to play it into a counterspell or something. Okay, now they're gonna play a Vial, which I think we're okay with that. Once again, just leaving up counter magic. Or representing something. I could, like, just repeal this Silvergill Adept, but That's not really that impressive of a play. I think we just go to our turn, just play a Tri-Builder. So now we have 6 lands in play. This will be our 7th. So one more land will be lethal. We could also Lightning Bolt them and Scapeshift them, which would be lethal, but I'm a little bit concerned about the fact they're leaving up counters this entire time. I feel like they have Negate. This seems like a very strong signal. Let's bolt the Lord. Maybe they negate that, but probably not. That's what I assumed. We can only get Island or Mountain. Might as well get an Island, I suppose. What? There we go. Let's get our Island. But I mean, we're only taking 2 a turn. They're not attacking Mutavault. I'm like pretty sure they've negate up, but I think we do go for it next turn if we have our 8th land. Yeah, if we find our land, I think... I was gonna say I think we go for it, but... We have 3 Scapeshifts, and assuming they have a negate, we might want to run one of these out. If we run out Scapeshift right now, it's not for lethal. It would be for 18 damage. We could go 15 to them, and then 3 to Silvergill Adept. I'm not really a big fan of that, though. I think I like Scapeshifting 18 them in the face, and then any mountain kills them, any ram spell kills them, and even like a mountain off the top kills them. This is assuming they don't counter it, which I feel like if they know how Scapeshift works, they won't counter it. But they might counter it, and I think it's fine to let them counter this one, and I don't think it's a bad play for them to counter it. Okay, they're going to flash freeze it. Okay, so that's fine. I thought that was reasonable for them to do. I'm actually going to repeal their Vial, so that they can't play a Lord off that. Ooh, that's not bad. Okay, we'll just play that tapped, and your turn. Basically, the way that turn works out is if they have a counterspell, and they let it resolve, they go down to 3, but there's a lot of, like, then next turn, a lot of things kill them that they can't really play around. They can't do anything about it. So I think it's reasonable for them to use a counterspell on our Scapeshift, and I think we want to play Scapeshift there because we have so many. So I think once again we just run it out. We only have 3 green sources, so we can't play double Scapeshift this turn. Okay, they're going to make us sack. I guess I could have floated mana for Peer Through Depths reasons, but I don't really see why we would need to. I'm assuming our opponent's just making it do it at this point as a formality. They're just like... A lot of people do it like when it's for a match. They just want you to do it. But not for like game 1s or 2s. Just gonna stomping. There we go. I mean, they can't vial anything. They're both on 0, and they only have 1 blue mana. Like, if they double blue, then Boomerang's more of a concern, even though it really isn't. I don't know. Usually people don't make me go through the triggers, but... Okay. Well, it looks like we're gonna still win this one. Boom. And we're 2-0. So, another match we won against Merfolk. I think the matchup's not too bad. Their draws didn't seem to be the best. They just kind of didn't apply early pressure as much as like I've seen other draws from Merfolk do. But I do think we are well equipped post-board with a ton of removal spells to get them in the spot where they can't apply much pressure. But we're 2-0 right now, so feeling pretty good. And I'll be back for our next round, guys.